Mike, what have the first 6, 7 days of practice been like for you?
Good. You know, I think we're all saying this is year 22 for me. I'm glad we don't play next week, David. We've got a long way to go, but they're playing really hard and a great group to coach. You know, we had a little bit of a springboard into the year with the trip this summer and a number of opportunities to practice. So not so new to this team, but so far so good.
What is different about Sean in year 3?
He's been great. I just mentioned it. I had a meeting about today's practice. Well, he's really made himself into a nice basketball player. Seeing the floor a little bit better, a little bigger and stronger, guarding better, and that has to continue to come on. He's such a capable person as he understands, he sees, you know, what's taking shape, sniffs things out, and is disruptive. Has been disruptive on the ball. We need the best version of Sean that we can get. He's a very talented person.
What's it been like to finally get Rodney an off season? I know he dealt with the whole injury thing last year, but you said he had a great summer.
He
How's
did.
he look so far?
He did. So far, so good. You know, those reps, you know, as we go along here are invaluable to us, to him. He's doing well.
Mike, good to see you.
Hey, Anthony, good to see you, buddy.
What does Virginia Tech basketball look like in a post-Justin Mutt's world?
Different. But, Anthony, you know, I talked about this a couple of days ago. You know, you look back at your career and you're always losing good players and new guys emerge. We will be different. We'll play a little bit differently. He was such a great passer, and we could move some things around him, and he was exceptional at finding what was coming and hurt defenses with his passing. He's a big, strong person, but really pleased with Robbie Barron thus far. Comes from a really good program at Northwestern. Mekhi Long has had a really good first 7 practices, 6 practices. We did not have Mekhi this summer as he was finishing his degree requirements at Old Dominion, but he's smart. Another person that played for a really good coach down there. So it'll be different, but encouraged by you know, we're not going to have to rely on a rookie to replace him. We're doing it with 2 fifth-year guys that have played a lot of college basketball.
And then looking back, how much did Hunter's absence hurt you guys last year? And how has he gotten better entering year 5?
He has gotten better in year 5. You know, just such a luxury. His leadership skills. He's a, you know, as we all know, a very smart person. Understands. Been around a long time. You know, he's played very, very well through the summer into Europe. I didn't play him very much at all in Europe, and really you know, encouraged with the improvements that he's made. Moving better. You know, the injury is a part of it, Anthony, and it's rough. It's as disruptive defensively for us as it was offensively, but he looks great. He's healthy and off to a really nice start.
Coach, with so many guards back in the fold for you guys, from Couture to Rodney, Padula, and Collins as well, what do you think the ceiling is for this group of guards as a whole?
Well, it'll be a real strength, and then you know, insert Tyler Nickel, who's done well. Jaden Young from Greensboro has I don't want to say surprised, but has been good. you know, played for a great coach at Greensboro Day, Freddie Johnson's won a bunch of games. You know, these guys play such a high level, you know, basketball during their high school years through AAU. You know, not as steep a learning curve once they get to campus. So the depth, experience that will be, you know, needless to say, a real strong suit of this team. It better be.
Yeah, on that point, the depth, it looks to be as good as it's been in your tenure here, maybe.
Bigger.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say,
Bigger,
like about
stronger. You know, I hope I don't have to go through that again. I had, you know, we had some games where we had three healthy guards that we could win with, and trying to mix and match and playing Grant and Justin and, you know, Lynn together. Those kinds of combinations make it hard with the things we want to do. So, you know, I do think it is the deepest team that we've had, and you know, that I think that bodes well for our team.
Are you getting a sense yet of whether this could be a better defensive team than last year?
Yeah, it better be, Mark. We spent a great deal of time on it through the summer and through our first 6 practices. It will be, you know, so far so good.
Will be better because is that because of the players on this year's team? You mean, or is that
Yeah,
because
you know,
you guys are doing something different?
all a
coaching-wise,
year
or?
older. I said, you know, throughout the year, MJ Collins was thrust into an opportunity out of necessity, where you know, he was playing a lot of minutes, and then, you know, he gets hit in the mouth, he breaks his nose, and he just kept coming. And I knew that every rep that he got last year in those games was going to, you know, be incredibly helpful as we his career continued to move along. And boy, he's been good thus far, as they all are. Tyler Nickel getting up to speed. Jaden Young is a freshman. Brandon Recksteiner is a freshman. They all have a good understanding of what you know, what it looks like and how we want to play on that end of the floor.
You say as coaches, you're coaching defense more this year,
Yeah, I would say a bit more. You know, you're always going to spend more time on the offensive end because it involves a ball, it involves timing, it involves execution. But it's certainly been a real focal point, you know, through the summer and through our first 6 practices.
How impactful has Hunter's presence been from your perspective on the development of younger guys like Bryson?
Well, he's you know, he's got a nice way about him. He wants to coach. I had him install something yesterday. I don't think I've ever done that in 38 years as a coach, but it plays for him. So he was excited to put it in. But he's got a nice way about him. He is. Commands a great deal of you know, admiration and respect for what he's done here, with you know, permeates throughout the program, and I think you know, has embraced that and has done quite a good job thus far, and that'll be very important for this bunch. Jermaine, you're all hooked up. You got stuff flying everywhere. The TV man I expect.
Hey, well, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do, Coach. First of all, it's always a joy seeing you, sir.
Pleasure.
I gotta ask you. You know, you have a good mix of veterans and a good mix of newcomers coming in. So, what's the key to meshing both those together? Because you've had success over your years in doing that.
You know, it's just such a big part of coaching, Jermaine, is incorporating the new with the old. You know, and now here we are in the era of the portal, and you're, you know, probably bringing in a person, a couple of people, each year that have done it at different places. But you know, a big part of coaching is blending all of that together and coming out with a product and a unit, a group of people that enjoy playing with one another, understand you know what how the game is supposed to be played, and they've done a great job with that through you know our first 6. They enjoy playing with one another. Take a great deal of pride in it and joy in competing with one another. Hope I'm saying that in February.
Byron will kick it to Zoom for some questions.
Out on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. We'll go first to David Teal.
Mike, you said you had Hunter install something the other day. What does install entail? Is he drawing it up on the board and then translating it onto the practice court? How does that work?
Dave, gosh, there's a lot that goes into it. You know, a lot of things that we've run before, and we can see film and visualize it. You know, all the gamesmanship that goes into it. The foot fake, you know, the cutting, the screening, where the ball's got to be delivered, where we want the defender to, where we want to influence the defender. So there's a lot that goes into it, and again, as I said to Mark, it requires a great deal of time because that ball changes things with the timing and everything else that goes into it.
And then the metrics would suggest that Virginia Tech was a below-average offensive rebounding team a year ago.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Mackay was a very good rebounder at Old Dominion. Has he shown you that he could really help you there?
Who's that? Yeah, Dave. I mean, he's, you know, went back and watched. Well, when he went into the portal, went back and watched our game with them. Lord sakes above, we couldn't do anything with him. He hits a 3. He's relentless on the offensive glass. He's got a real nose for it. Haven't seen, you know, that in our first 6 practices. Again, he wasn't with us as much this summer, but you know, we know what he brings to the table. And I talked to Dustin Kearns, who we were together a couple of times, who was in the same league with him, the head coach at Appalachian State, and that was the first thing out of his mouth, says we can't keep the guy off the glass. So, you know, to have the ability to get you know extra shots through the offensive rebounding part of it. Robbie Barron's doing a nice job in that area thus far. I think it certainly could be a real strength for us.
Thank you.
Brian, I'll send it back into the room.
Mark. You mentioned the guards, Hunter and Sean and Rodney. Have you seen enough to know, okay, that I can play those guys together at the same time?
Yeah. You know, Hunter's not a point guard. Hunter's a 2, but can move over there. I just, you know, anytime you can put people on the floor that can play multiple spots, Rodney will play some at the point, if not a lot, and you know, relieve Sean of some of that burden. But yeah, I have no heartburn whatsoever in playing those 3 together. And Rodney Rice, Hunter Couture, MJ Collins. There's a number of things that we can get to. You know, and I do think that, Mark, it's going to take some time to, you know, all shake out as we move along. The 2 scrimmages we have against Liberty and Richmond will be beneficial, and we'll look at a lot of things there, playing Robbie Barron and Mackay Long together in the front court. You know, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing how all that, you know, turns out for us as we head down the road.
Mike, where has Lynn come along lately? What did you like about just his summer and how he's developed?
He's played very good basketball, David. You know, this is year 4 for him at the college level. Played a little bit, not much at Clemson. Didn't play much at all with Aluma Mutz and Gasson in his sophomore year. Plays a lot last year. I thought I had a good year for us. Now, you know, here he is in his 4th year, and just a better level of understanding. Has always played really, really hard. Runs really, really hard. Rebounding the ball better. So have high hopes for Lynn Kidd. He's going to help us win games.
Have you gotten a sense of how you're going to fit Tyler into everything this year?
We'll fit him in. I'm not sure yet, and he's playing the 3 spot for us now. You know, if you're a 4 with what we do, that's a pretty easy guy to get shots for. Every time he shoots the ball, I think it's going in the basket. So I'll play him some over there. He's got good size, a good-looking young man. You know, and if we can find a favorable matchup during the course of a game, during the course of the season, you know, we'll look at a number of things. I'm not quite sure yet how it'll shake out, but I've got a lot of things, you know, that I'm considering.
Coach, how would you describe?
Carter, where are you?
Right here.
Can't find you.
Good to see you.
You too, buddy.
How would you describe Robbie's game down low for y'all?
I wouldn't describe it as down low. He is more of a face-up. He's a mover. He is a good passer. He is a good basketball player. You know, to see him compete in the Big Ten, you know, over the last 4 years, and you know that team they put together last year, and he's an exceptional defender. He is a great communicator. Might there be, you know, a couple of wrinkles that we work him into the post? Yes, but he's more of a face-up guy and play out of 15 feet. He can really shoot the ball, but you know, Mutz could really tear people up around the basket. Just sheer strength. Robbie's a different player, and that's okay. We can figure that out.
Mike, I know a lot was made about the matchup against Wofford, but in general, how do you feel about your schedule? I know you got that early trip down to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Thanksgiving tournament, just any thoughts?
I think it's a good schedule, Anthony. I think it's a fair schedule. South Carolina game in Charlotte. We have so many graduates in Mecklenburg County. I love going. We all love Charlotte. I do. And the Hornets Arena is a very nice place. I don't even know the name of it anymore. And then to Coppin State, South Carolina on the road, Campbell in here, Wofford in here, and then to Orlando. You know, we'll take them, you know, game by game. The Wofford thing just kind of worked out. It was not some elaborate plan. It wasn't, you know, something that we had talked about for, you know, literally Matt Olinger, who handles our schedule, walked in and said, Wofford has this date open. We need a game, you know, on this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Are you opposed to playing? I said, no. And he came back 3 or 4 days later, said, did you schedule that game? I said, yeah. And that's how it worked out, literally. I did spend 30 years there. I had 30 glorious years there, but you know, there'll be nothing extra for me. It's another game. It's another opportunity to get better, and we'll look forward to it. Not a home and home. Not a home and home. Don't think that's going to happen. Thanks, guys. Is that it? Thanks, guys.